Alright, so I've just got back from a trip to Utah where I spent some time riding with some great friends. One of these people was a guy called Tyler. He's a 42-year-old dad of 4, and he's now getting into the world of mountain bike freeride and wants to start a YouTube channel, but doesn't know where to start and is pulling the brakes on actually getting started. So we had a bit of like a friend-to-friend conversation the other day, which is something I'm super passionate about. So if you have been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, this is going to be for you, because I'm going to explain and talk about everything I talked about with Tyler to help him get his YouTube channel started, so you can take off the brakes and get your channel started too. Now, just to set the stage, Tyler is 42 years old. He has 4 kids. He is a very successful businessman, got a nice house, nice lifestyle, and is a great mountain biker. He's been riding mountain bikes for like 2 years now, I think, maybe a little bit longer. And he wants to start a YouTube channel because he has a great story to tell, in that his kids all ride, well, most of them ride mountain bikes. They're all progressing really fast, and he wants to advance into this level of mountain biking that is inaccessible to a lot of people, which is freeride mountain biking at its highest level. Tyler lives in Virgin, Utah, which is home to Red Bull Rampage and some of the biggest cliffs and exposed riding that you can do on a bike. It's like an infinite landscape for creating whatever your mind can conceive. He's super skillful on a bike. He's already got an Instagram account, he's growing on there, but every time we speak, which has been a couple of times now, he knows he needs to start a YouTube channel, a long form YouTube channel, because his story is so magnetic. Like, the fact that he is a dad, 42 years old, and wanting to pursue this level of mountain biking with a family, with kids, is so cool. He just doesn't know where to start or what to focus on. So we had this like heart-to-heart conversation, or friend-to-friend conversation. A lot of the same things come up when I talk to small YouTubers or people looking to start channels. So the first thing is getting over the fear of actually starting. So people have this perceived view of what YouTube is like. From experience, they look at other creators on the platform, like Mr. Beast, all these big creators, even YouTubers in their own space, and they look at the results that these guys are getting in terms of subscribers, views per video, and they base their journey off that, which is completely incorrect. And most of the time I've seen this just leads to failure and people sacking off YouTube altogether because they think they're doing the wrong thing or it's not working. I've grown a YouTube channel from 0 to over 200,000 subscribers now. And to get to that point, it took me 6 years to get to 100,000 subscribers. I mean, it took me 6 months to go from 100,000 subscribers to 200,000 subscribers. So I believe now, if I start a YouTube channel in 2025, I could grow way faster with the knowledge I have now that I've spent 6, 7, 8 years learning of how to do in the past. So that's kind of what I want to pass down in this video and what I wanted to share with Tyler. And most people get stuck at the starting blocks because they have this unrealistic expectation. Now, unlike social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where it's very much based on instant gratification, like shorter videos, shorter attention spans, these real fast hits of dopamine, YouTube long form is very much different. The way you approach it is different, the way you have to think about it is very different. Instagram, if you put a good piece of content out, it will either go crazy or it will just flatline and not reach an audience. And then once that content is done, it's finished. YouTube, however, you can create as an evergreen machine. So I've got videos on my channel, Wolfpack Adventures. There's videos on there that have gone viral and done really well that are still getting 20, 30, 40,000 views every single day on autopilot 2 or 3 years later. So you can imagine that it's a very different platform, a very different algorithm, a very different environment. So that means you have to think about YouTube with a long-term goal in mind. So when people post videos and don't go viral straight away or something, this is what causes people to stop. When you first start on YouTube and you start posting content, your videos are going to be crap. I can tell you that now, and it's an expectation you should have. For the first 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 videos you put out, maybe 30 videos is a good target, don't expect to get any views or subscribers. You probably will start getting views and traction and subscribers, but don't focus on those numbers in the beginning, because it will lead to disheartenment, like you being upset or like not happy with where you're at, and feel like you're not making progress, when in fact what you're doing is you're building foundations. So just like a plant or a carrot or a vegetable that grows on the ground, you plant this seed and you water it and water it and water it. You feel like nothing is happening, right? So you don't see any results. But meanwhile, underground, that carrot, that vegetable, that plant is growing roots, growing foundations for what is to come. And then one day, out of nowhere, this thing will start to sprout out of the ground. And this is like what the same as on YouTube. You build a foundation which not many people will see, even yourself in the beginning, and then out of nowhere, you'll experience big leaps of growth, of like compounding growth. And I'm going to talk more about this in this deep dive of how the algorithm works and how that works. So let's talk a bit about confidence on camera, because nowadays people think that to be a successful YouTuber or successful on YouTube, you have to be good at talking to the camera, which is camera confidence, right? And that's true to an extent. But there's a caveat with this, because I think when people want to start a YouTube channel, they have, again, this image that they have to be talking to the camera 24/7 and vlogging their life and showing people what they eat for breakfast and what they drive to work and everything in between. And they think that that's the most important thing to share. My Wolfpack Adventures channel is primarily point of view mountain biking. There's hardly any talking in the video of me talking to the camera unless I feel it's necessary. Like, the whole video is not just me, like, welcome to my channel, guys, today we're at wherever. Now, people do have those channels, but you can make faceless YouTube channels now. So you can do channels where you don't even have to show your face. And what I told Tyler was, because his channel will be similar to my Wolfpack channel, which will be point of view mountain biking, when you're making a video, people want to see the mountain biking. They're not there to hear you talk all the time into a camera. Now, obviously there's certain scenarios where you will want to talk to the camera, if it's like a deep topic you're talking about, or you want to show your audience something and you feel like adding context by, you know, sharing how you feel and things like that. Obviously that makes sense. For the most part, for him, I said, look, you're a dad of 4, you've got a busy lifestyle, you do a lot of mountain biking. The key for you is to utilize your time. So how do we make a YouTube channel without it taking up more of your time? So with action cameras nowadays, like I'm filming this on, you can strap these cameras to your helmet, to your chest mount, and almost forget you're wearing a camera and record all this action for your audience to watch. And that essentially is your content. Now, one thing I thought when I first started the Wolfpack channel was that views and subscribers would come based on how much effort I put into my video. And when I say effort, I mean spending the most on fancy gear, which I'll get into later, and why that's a bullshit thinking. The fact that I thought you needed to edit the video really fancy, you know, and trim things to music and make all these fancy transitions, and that's what would make the views and go viral. But it's actually not for my audience. So what I realized was on my channel, people come to your channel for a specific reason. So mine was mountain biking. People want to watch raw mountain biking, as long a cut as possible. And I will get into optimal video length as well in this video, so if you're interested in hearing that, then stay tuned. But yeah, so I put videos side by side. I'd pay an editor good money to edit a video for me, a few $100s a video. It would go out, I'd put it out, and it would do average. It would do 100,000, 200,000 views. I'd be like, that's okay. And then I would put the whole same content up from like a race, completely unedited. So it's very similar content, but no editing, just literally chopped together, upload it with a nice thumbnail and a good title. And the video would outperform the edited video every single time. And not only would it outperform it, it would make more in revenue from AdSense because people were watching longer. Which brings me on to my next thing that Tyler asked, which was, how long should a video be on YouTube? Because that's another common question. Now, there is no determined optimal video length on YouTube. There just isn't. But what I've noticed on my channel is that longer form videos are being pushed more on YouTube now. I've got videos on my channel that are nearly 3 hours long of mountain biking, and they have hundreds of thousands of views. From what I can see in my analytics as well, people are deciding to watch my videos on a TV. So you can see in the stats like what preferred device people watch on, and people prefer watching this raw mountain biking on a TV. So I'm assuming they get in from work or the weekend and they just put the TV on, put YouTube on, and they just want a video to play and watch just content or videos for like a movie length of time. Or maybe they're cooking dinner and they've got a TV on the side, it's just playing in the background. That's where I see my videos being played and watched. Like, people have sent me phone videos before of my videos being shown in bars and pubs in France before, which is really random, but that's just what they have on in the background. Video length is something is like channel by channel determined. You'll have to test this, but from what I've seen, YouTube is pushing longer form videos, which then obviously increases retention and watch time, which then obviously increases how much more YouTube views your videos as valuable, and then it just pushes your video out to even more new audiences of people. So that's how I've experienced quite a big jump of growth. Then we got on to the topic of talking about video ideas with Tyler. So this is super interesting because straight away when he told me his dynamic, that in fact he's a dad of 4, is doing freeride mountain biking, where he lives, I'm like, holy shit, this is like perfect. The stories that you have in your videos, the ideas and the thumbnails are the most important part about getting a channel to success on YouTube, long form channels. He already has a bank of ideas just because he's in an interesting niche. There's not many people in his spectrum who are 40 plus years old and doing mountain biking to the level that he is. And what's even cooler about this is that his kids, who are 15 and younger, are insane on a bike as well, almost at the same level as his dad. It's almost like a, one-upping each other, and that's how they're progressing, and they're always riding together, which I think is such a cool dynamic of having a dad and a kid progressing together. They're doing backflips, big drops, and you're like, wow, this is really, really cool, really unique, really hard to replicate. Because there's not many 42-year-old dads out there that are mountain biking at his level, so it's almost like unreplicable, which is the uniqueness, right? That's the uniqueness. So when everyone's asking, like, is YouTube too saturated? My answer is no. Your own uniqueness. There's only one Alex Saloka on this planet. There's only one Tyler James on this planet who is a 42-year-old freerider dad, I would believe. And that's the uniqueness. Sure, there's loads of other mountain bike channels, but it's his story and my story of my journey of how I've got to here is what makes me unique, and it's what makes your channel unique. So never get stuck at the beginning thinking that YouTube is too saturated, that it's going to be impossible to stand out, because I think that is a load of bullshit, and again stops people from starting in the beginning, because they just come up with this false idea that, oh, there's too many channels in my niche are doing the same thing, I can't stand out. Well, I'd argue that your own uniqueness and story is the reason people will tune in to watch your stuff. So we got talking about video ideas, and my brain was fizzing with the ideas that you could put out that would almost be unreplicable by anybody else, which over time would allow Tyler to build this catalog of videos up, which was so unique. Because think of your first 20-30 videos as you building a catalog out, a catalog of videos for people to watch later. You're building a foundation. And then what you'll find is, you'll find maybe 20% of your videos will outperform the rest of your videos you put out. And those videos you want to question, and you want to look at them in detail under a microscope and think, what about this video made this go viral for my channel? Why did this outperform all the other videos? What was the angle of the video? What was the story? What happened in the video? Was there something I did in the video that made it completely different to anything else I've ever done? And then start replicating that. Start replicating that again and again and again. That's what I did. I had one video here which went viral, and it has 15-16 million views now on the channel, which is insane. But when that started taking off, which wasn't instantaneously, it was maybe 10-15 days later that it started to pick up momentum, I started to look at it under a microscope and say, well, what was I doing in this video? What was so unique about it? What was so unique about the thumbnail? What made people click on it? What made people want to watch it and stay around? And then I replicated it again with this video a few weeks later. Same process, same mindset, everything. And this one went viral. And not every single video I post goes viral, but I have somewhat of a system now and a thought process that is proven to work for video virality on YouTube. And I have maybe 10 videos now that have 1 million plus views, and they all follow or all include elements of that first video's viral hit. And sure, I've tested different video ideas to see what works and what could get to work better. This has taken me 6 years to figure out, and I'm trying to distill all this information into a 30-minute long deep dive YouTube video, so I probably will miss things, but that's what I've discovered. That's what you should do to your channel. Start posting videos, forget about what the views and subscribers they bring in, and then once videos start to pick up traction, start to look at similarities and why those videos did well, and then replicate them. Don't think that because you've made one video that if you make another, you shouldn't be able to make another video of the same style. Once you find an idea that works, milk it. Milk it for all it has. Come up with different angles, different ideas, different locations. Milk the idea to death until it won't give you any more views. And that can be enough to grow a channel forever. That can be enough to grow your channel to wherever you want it to get to without having to do anything else. But it might take you a few videos to get to that point, which kind of brings me on to a point of testing different video ideas. So try different formats, try different video lengths, try different ideas. Start to see what your audience wants to watch, and then knuckle down on those ideas. So let's talk about the YouTube algorithm. So this is something that people want to learn and how to crack the code for. Now, I'll give you some pointers on algorithm. Every time you say the word algorithm, just replace it with audience. So if you put a video out, it doesn't perform, damn, it's not the algorithm that didn't like you or against you. Replace it with audience. The audience didn't like this video. The audience liked this video. And it will give you a different shift in perspective. Now, I've paid tens of thousands of pounds to mentors in the past to help me with YouTube growth. And one of them people was this guy here, Paddy Galloway, who is an Irish legend, and he works with big names like Mr. Beast, Red Bull Bike, all these huge channels to help with view maximization and channel growth. And I was in a paid mastermind with him, amazing experience, and learned so much. And one of the things I learned from this mastermind was a concept about the algorithm, which really was like a light bulb moment for me. So the algorithm doesn't just randomly show your videos to people and maybe it goes viral. There's literally a process to it. Now, when you're starting out a channel, by the way, your videos aren't going to get many views because YouTube doesn't know who the best people are to put your videos in front of. So it has to figure it out. It tests different audiences until it finds an audience. So in the beginning, this is why people don't experience good views, more than likely. Now, that's not saying you can't have a viral video without subscribers, because you could have one subscriber and still get a video that does 1 million views. I've seen it. The way the algorithm works, and the way that Paddy broke this down to me, was you've got core viewers, you've got casual viewers, and then you've got like a broader audience. Let's just call them core, casual, and a broad audience. Now, your core audience are your die-hard fans. They watch every single video that you put out. Every single video these guys watch. This could be a very detailed, dedicated topic in mountain biking. It could be anything. The casual viewer is somebody who just dips in and out of your channel. They watch a video every now and again, maybe when it pops on their suggested feed. They tune in. They're not as die-hard fans like the core viewers are. And then your new audience, or your broad audience, are people who have probably never even seen your videos before. So this is like the wide world of people, right? Now, with my channel, and when I'm looking to maximize views on a YouTube channel and get the most views possible, the most attention possible, I'm trying to target all three of these people in one single video idea. This is where video ideation comes around and why it's so important. Because if I put a video out on this channel that is super specific, maybe on my mountain bike channel, if I made something that was like my mountain bike garage setup, this is how I store my bikes in my garage. That to me is a very core viewer who is interested in how to store a mountain bike in a garage. It's probably not going to reach these huge masses of audience of the casual and the new audience. So then what I decided to discover was that the broader topics that I made started to reach new audiences. So anything where I had high exposure, anything where I had stairs, urban riding, anything where I had a recognizable shape. So cliffs, stairs, pyramids, rivers, streams, mountains, anything with this in it would have the potential to reach this much wider audience of people. But it would also appeal to the casual viewer, and it would also appeal to those die-hard core viewers. Now, if you can nail video ideas that target all these three groups, you're in the money spot, you're in the gold spot for view maximization. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, and it's why I spend most of my time on the idea and the concept of a video, because I know that I could pull 10 times, 20 times more views, 100 times more views, 1,000,000 times more views than somebody else with one video idea versus just trying to throw spaghetti against the wall and upload a video every single day and just get minimal views, because that's really tiring. I don't have the energy to do that, and I'm pretty sure Tyler doesn't as well. That's why I'm so strong on spending more time of like, how do I package this video? What is the idea of this video? That's where most of my time is spent now. If I can't think of a good thumbnail for a video, I don't go and make the video, because think about it. If you make a really good long video, it takes you days, weeks, months to make, right? And you think it's amazing, but you have a crappy title and thumbnail that nobody wants to. Sorry, my battery nearly went out on the camera. So what I was saying was, if nobody clicks on your video and reads your title, nobody's gonna watch this video you spent all this time putting together. This is why people overlook thumbnails and titles so much, and I believe it's the wrong way of thinking. I used to do this as well. I used to go out and film all my mountain bike content with no thought or time put into the idea of the video at all. I'd just go and film a bunch of content and then think of a thumbnail after and a title afterwards, and the thumbnail usually would just be, it was a screen grab from a video that I thought looked cool. Now, this can work sometimes, but what I would do now is spend 80% of my time thinking of the idea and the packaging of the video, the title and the thumbnail. Because if I can't get someone to click, can't get someone to watch, and that's a recipe for disaster. And it's why so many people, so many talented people on YouTube are literally just capping their own growth, because they're thinking about this the wrong way around. Think about your thumbnail and your title first, and then go and make a video if you can make a good thumbnail for it. Guarantee you'll 10x your views in the next like 6-12 months. I can almost guarantee it. So that's what I was trying to tell Tyler. With his lifestyle right now as a dad, he doesn't have all this time like to devote to full-time YouTube mode. He's also trying to grow on Instagram and other platforms as well, and he's running multiple businesses, and he's running a family. So then it comes the question of, well, how do you grow a channel without taking too much of your time? So like I said before about action cameras, these things are fantastic for extreme sports channels and just in general, because we can just strap them to our helmets, our bodies, and we can just forget about them. And what we can also do now with like cameras like I'm filming on right now, this Insta360 Ace Pro 2, we can film in certain ratios that allow us to use our content for both YouTube like this in 16:9, but then we can also crop to 9:16, which is great for social media posts, like vertical social media posts. So then you're basically just killing two birds with one stone. So you don't have to go and re-record something in a different ratio for a different platform, because that would be tiring, and that's something that would put people off. We were talking a little about time management and like how to grow a YouTube channel, like if you have a full-time job or a full-time lifestyle. My advice to people who are starting, who have limited time, is to pick a schedule that you can stick to. Pick an upload schedule. Now, you don't have to be uploading every single day to be successful on YouTube, because I've just explained to you why that's not even true. Right? Think of your ideas. Brainstorm some ideas now, and think about what you could go and create in the next few months that will be almost cornerstone pieces of content to grow your channel for the long term. That's how you should think about it. Don't try and pump out daily videos like you see some people doing. That's a strategy that they may have, but if it doesn't work for you and you know you can't stick to it, don't do it, because you'll burn yourself out. Your videos will be poor quality, your audience will see that, and your channel will suffer as a result. Let's talk about gear. Like, what gear and equipment should you have to make a successful YouTube channel? Because people think you need fancy lighting, fancy equipment, all the best, most expensive stuff. It's all bullshit. But the biggest piece of advice I can give you is start now with what you have, and then get more equipment as you grow if you want to. So right now, if all you have is a phone, that's enough to grow a successful YouTube channel. These cameras and these phones and the sound quality are pretty decent. Like, the camera's amazing, video quality's amazing in these. This is an iPhone Pro Max 14. It's not even the latest one. And I could grow a successful YouTube channel with just this phone alone. Now, one thing I would invite people to do as an investment is that audio is critical. I'd actually argue that audio is more important than video, right? Obviously, story, thumbnail, title, that's all important. But you don't need a fancy red 4 million K camera to be successful on YouTube. YouTube won't give you views because you've got fucking 20 grand camera. Like you could get views on a $600 iPhone, but audio is something I would invest into if you were being serious about this. Now, I will put a picture on the screen here of the mics that I would recommend. Now, these are DJI wireless mics. I got these with a camera, with a collaboration I did with DJI, and they are the best upgrade for the least amount of money. The audio is insane out of them, and they have a wireless receiver, so you can wear it, you can link it to a camera, your phone, you can go and walk away from it. It's got a dead cat on it, so it actually is really nice and crisp. Don't think you need all these fancy lights and studio equipment to be successful with your channel. Just start with what you have and scale up accordingly. Right now, this Insta camera I have here, Insta360 Ace Pro 2, has a microphone cover on it. So the audio is pretty decent out the camera, as you can probably hear. There's a little bit of wind now as well. Now, if I didn't have this microphone cover on, the wind noise would be horrendous. And have you ever watched a video on YouTube? You're watching it and you're really engaged with the story, and then there's wind or you can't hear what somebody's saying, but you can kind of see what they're doing. I can almost guarantee you'll click off that video because of the audio quality before the video quality. I can almost guarantee that. So if you can, whatever niche you're in, category on YouTube, see if you can reduce wind noise as much as possible. So for mountain biking, I would try and get microphone covers for my action cameras, or have a camera like this one that has them already inbuilt, so the audio isn't impairing the experience that someone's going through. Now, if you are having a channel that is like in a studio setup where you may want to have a podcast microphone and that sort of stuff, that's a little bit different. But as a general rule of thumb, upgrade your audio straight away. Video doesn't matter as much, but nowadays you can't buy a bad camera, and most people have phones. iPhone, it's fairly decent. Which kind of brings me on to my next point about quality and quantity. Like, which comes first? Like, how do you make good videos? How do you be a good YouTuber? Like I said before, it took me 6 years to get to 100,000 subscribers, and then 6 months to go from 100 to 200. So you can see the growth and compounding there. Now, in the beginning, I was just posting as much as I could. It didn't really cross my mind too much about the quality. So when I say quality, I mean like, how good is the editing? Is it cinematic? Is it fancy? Is it that's quality to me. Those are quality aspects. Whereas quantity could just be a video that has videos inside it that are just chopped together and posted, and there's not really too much thinking going on. You become better and your videos become more quality the more you post, the more volume you post. So in the beginning, don't let quality put you off. Because I can preface now, if you're watching this and either thinking about starting a channel, or you have just started and you're experiencing very slow to no growth, your videos probably aren't going to be very good in terms of quality and the viewers that they are reaching and the numbers they're producing. But you just need to post more, right? Especially in the beginning. YouTube is literally trying to figure out who the hell you are. It doesn't know who to show your videos to. And YouTube is a slow process for 99% of people. If you're not already a big name, you don't already have a big audience that you can just send and drive traffic, external traffic to your channel, forget it. Like, you need to start from level 1 and work your way all the way up. That's how it works. Once you start getting traction, and when YouTube starts to figure out who your videos are best put in front of, then you'll experience mega leaps of growth. And all those videos that you posted in the beginning that got no views, or not many, will start to get views, because people watch one video. And if you do this correctly and you create a binge effect on your channel, people watch this one video that went viral, and then they go back through all your catalog of videos, and then they start consuming more and more of your content. And then what happens? If YouTube sees your channel as something that people are interested in, like, oh look, John Doe here is watching 8 of Alex's videos in one go, in one session. This is quite a valuable channel. Maybe more people like John Doe want to see this video of this channel. So then it pumps it out even more, and that's how you create a YouTube flywheel that like almost grows itself. Now, Wolfpack Adventures channel is getting like 200-300 subscribers a day on that channel now, which is mind-blowing. I never thought it would get to that, and my next goal for that channel is to get to 1 million subscribers, which I believe will probably take a couple of years, but it will get there, no problem. But that's what happens with compounded growth. Now, my growth wasn't like that in the beginning. It was very slow, but my mindset was very much enjoy the video making process and just keep posting videos that people want to watch. and videos that I enjoyed making, which is another important point. There's no point making videos in a niche just because it has virality in there, but you hate making those videos. The passion and drive you have from video creation on YouTube is the main thing that will keep you going and keep you coming back and making the channel a success. So don't just pick a niche or a video ideas just because somebody else has gone viral. There is a caveat to that, because I spend a lot of time on the idea of my video and researching in other niches and mountain biking to see what could a good video idea be. Can this video make 1 million views? Is there potential here for it to do 10 million views? The way I do that is using a tool called 1 of 10, which I will put a picture or a screen share on here so you can see it. And I'll leave a link below if you want to go and check it out. 1 of 10 is a paid, I think you can get a free test of it, a free trial. But I pay for this because it's so valuable. And what it does is it finds outlier videos. Now, an outlier video is a video on someone's channel that has outperformed every other video on the channel as an average. A channel's average could be 100,000 views a video, right? Or maybe 20,000 views, whatever. And then if you have a video that pops off and gets 1 million views, that's an outlier video for that channel. And what 1 of 10 will do, through different filters and search functions, you can find outlier videos in your niche and other people's niches, which makes the video idea process so much easier and more fun. Because there's no point in you reinventing the wheel here, right? Now, in some cases, yes, go out and experiment and try different things. But what you'll find on YouTube is, you'll find there are certain videos that do grossly better than others. And you'll start to see people modeling the same things. And what I do is I go on this platform and I find outlier video ideas and then ask myself, how can I recreate this in my niche or for me, for my channel? Not copying, modeling. How do I model this same idea, this thumbnail that's been proven to be clicked on for my channel? That gives me a head start straight away. And another thing on thumbnails, people overcomplicate the shit out of thumbnails, and it drives me up the wall. Again, it's taken me nearly 7 or 8 years to figure this out, and I'm still a student at this. I'm not an expert, but I feel I've figured a few things out when it comes to YouTube thumbnails. Now, a YouTube thumbnail that gets clicked has a few key elements in it. One, it's not overcrowded. So you'll probably see thumbnails on YouTube, maybe you're guilty of this. You try and put in as much information, be it visual or words, in a thumbnail at once. What happens? It doesn't get views. Just does not get views at all, because it's not eye-catching. Now, when people are scrolling through their phones, TV, iPads, whatever, you have literally fractions of seconds to get someone's attention for them to be intrigued enough to click your thumbnail. So we have to have a thumbnail that is intriguing or thought-provoking in some way, shape or form. And the way we do that, we tell a story in the thumbnails. I will put some thumbnails on the screen now of successful thumbnails in different niches so you can see. But you'll notice about these thumbnails is that they're very simple. There's no more than 3 points of contact with the eye on the thumbnail. There might be a picture of a person, some text, or just an image with no text. But what it does is it's instantly recognizable by the viewer. Instantly. There's no room for thinking or confusion, because if you confuse the viewer, you don't get the click, which means people aren't going to watch your video. But if you can get past that and understand this rule of thirds or this rule of 3, you will get 10 times more views. I can literally guarantee that. It's not just the thumbnail that you have to get right, it's the title. So the title is just as important as your thumbnail, probably a little bit less important, but they work together. So if you go onto YouTube now and just scroll through your feed, have a look at videos that pop up, focus in and think about what your process is like for clicking on a video. Do you look at the thumbnail first and then do you read the title to make sure it goes with the thumbnail, or do you read the title and then look at the thumbnail? Because what they do is they work together to create this cognitive dissonance, which makes the viewer want to know the answer to something. And it is very much an art and a science, and like I said, it's taken me nearly 7 or 8 years to get to this point, which is, I'm trying to give you this in a short video. But it's an art and a science. Simplify thumbnails, a little bit of text if necessary. You don't have to have text on a thumbnail. If it's your style, cool, but you don't need it. Now, what I would recommend to Tyler is that a lot of his videos may or may not need text, because of the style of riding he is doing is generally going to have him in it, a picture of his mountain bike handlebars, maybe his kids riding. There could be some text involved just to explain that story a little bit better, to give people enough curiosity, but also they understand what they're clicking on to watch. So again, it's very much an art and a science, but if you go on tools like 1 of 10, or even just go through YouTube and have a look at what people are posting and see what grabs your attention. I mean, let me know in the comments, like, how do you decide what video to click on YouTube? Do you read the title first and then watch thumbnail? Do you look at the thumbnail and then read the title? Do you just click on things randomly? Tune into your mind and think about how you do this, because when you understand this, it will help you come up with better titles and thumbnails, guarantee you. Another thing about titles, people make them too long. You look at a title of a YouTube video on your mobile, after 50 characters you get the ... which again leaves room for interpretation and confusion. You don't want that. So if it's possible, cap your titles to 50 characters and no more. I use ChatGPT for a lot of thumbnail ideas and title ideas, mainly title ideas, because I've programmed my own GPTs now to help me with title ideation. And maybe that's something I can include in the link in the description at some point. I will do that. I will include my ChatGPT prompts to help me come up with good titles for videos. If you want to get that will be down there. But I use that because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I've created GPTs on my ChatGPT thing to help me literally brainstorm and be a personal assistant for my YouTube channel. So it helps with thumbnail ideas, it helps me refine thumbnails, it helps me edit thumbnails, it helps me come up with titles. It just does so much stuff. So never be put off by AI as well. Now, that's an interesting part about this AI, which it might be quite new to some people watching this, but you should definitely leverage the crap out of AI right now. Now, if it makes sense to. Now, I think of AI as a personal assistant to whatever it is I'm doing. Like, I pay the monthly fees for all these AI things because it's like hiring another person for me, which is a massive time saver. And if obviously the video works, then that's paid for its worth like a million times over. So don't just think that AI is going to take your jobs and not useful, it's too confusing. Use it. Like, it's so powerful. 1 of 10, ChatGPT, all worth using. Clickbait as well. Clickbait in thumbnails. Let's touch upon that. Now, this whole thing of clickbait. Clickbait is where you get somebody to click on your thumbnail in a YouTube sense, and then they've been baited into watching your video. They've been clickbaited. I think there's a bit of a caveat with this, because I like to call my thumbnails and titles legit bait. I like to legit bait my YouTube channel to the max. And what this means is, maybe we should coin that or brand it. If you can get somebody to click on your title and thumbnail, and then you can pay off whatever it is you're saying in your thumbnail and title in the video, in the first part of the video, that's not clickbait, that's legit bait. If you can deliver on the promise of what someone has clicked on in your video, that's not clickbait. Clickbait would be me saying, this is how to make the world's best cup of coffee in the title and the thumbnail, and maybe a thumbnail picture like me of this. And they would click on the video and it would be something other than making a cup of coffee. It'd be me showing them how to do a phone tutorial. That's the clickbait. So you've got the click and then you've not delivered on it. Don't clickbait. Or you can run the line of clickbaitiness. Now, people do this on channels like Mr. Beast, where they really do push the limits on what clickbait is. And sometimes I'm a bit questionable on that, because there'll be a great white shark and Mr. Beast on a thumbnail, which I'll put here if I can find it. And that's not actually in the video. It's very close to, but it's not actually in the video, which I don't like doing. So I run that line very fine with using AI and clickbait and make it legit bait. I want to bring it back now to what people will think of you, because again, that's another reason why people don't start. What will people think of me? What will my family think of me? What will my friends think of me? What will my peers think of me? All my friends in the space, whatever. People will judge you whatever you decide to do, right? Whether you decide to start a YouTube channel or not, people will judge you for it. So what I like to say is, don't be overly extroverted with sharing your channel in the beginning. So if people come across your YouTube channel, fair enough, they may or may not like it, but don't go sharing it every single place if you struggle with being judged by people, because it's tough. Like I was saying before about posting the first 30 videos, they're not going to get many views. So if you're fearful of people judging you based on these videos that have no views, Or people start watching your channel and then they don't get any views, and then you're like, Christ, what if somebody thinks that, you know, I'm full of shite if my videos don't get any views, or I'm not a worthy person because my videos aren't doing great in terms of views and subscribers. Don't tell people. Like, you telling somebody on Instagram about your YouTube channel is not really going to do much to grow your YouTube channel. Posting content on YouTube will grow your YouTube channel. Right? So don't think that you're going to trick the algorithm in sending external traffic from TikTok and Instagram to your YouTube channel, that it's going to grow it exponentially. That YouTube is clever. Obviously it wants the attention, so it will give you some sort of kudos for sending outside traffic to YouTube, right? But the way you win on YouTube is by posting content on YouTube. I guess it comes down to what YouTube's goal is. You're on YouTube's platform, you're in rented business space. YouTube is got millions and billions of people watching on the channel, on the platform. And their main goal is to get people to stay on that platform as long as possible, as weird as that sounds. But if we can help them do that by creating good videos with good retention and good watch time, YouTube will reward you for that because you're helping them achieve their goal. So in return, they'll also pay you a percentage of ad share revenue. They'll also give you more views and more exposure, which helps you grow and reach your goal. That's how I think about it. But if being judged on YouTube by friends, family, peers is a thing for you, don't share it off YouTube. Just let YouTube do its thing. I can almost tell you now, you're not going to experience a massive leap in growth because you shared your YouTube channel and Instagram. It doesn't work like that anymore. It never has worked. Is it too late to start on YouTube? Another question I've had before. People think they've missed the boat on YouTube. Now, I started YouTube, I've been making videos since I was like 10, 15 years old. I've been documenting my mountain biking ever since I started. But I've not been on YouTube for that long. I've been on YouTube for 6, 7 years. I have been making videos and documenting my journey because that's what I love doing on other platforms. So when I came to YouTube, I could see that it had potential. I could see this was like going to be around for a long time and that I needed to grow here. And I did tell people in my space that they should also think about starting a YouTube channel. And they would come up with the same things like, oh, I don't have time, don't know what to do. And it was basically just like maybe them being scared, I think. Or not feeling it was as valuable as it is. And it's funny now because you see a lot of people who back then said they wouldn't start one, they would never dream of starting one. And guess what they're doing now? They're popping up and starting YouTube channels. It's really interesting because now, especially if you want to work with brands, people, you've got a business, you're a personal brand, literally anyone who has a worthy message to share or something to sell should have a YouTube channel, and they need to have a long form YouTube channel. I don't care what anyone says. I think that is how it needs to be if you want to succeed. If you're not on YouTube, you're almost non-existent in my opinion, especially long form videos, because of the time it takes you to build a relationship with your audience. So this is more related to if you're selling a physical product, but it also relies on view maximization on your channel. If you want to get the most views and grow a channel and you're working with brands or whatever, it works for anyone. If you're on just Instagram and you're posting 10-second reels, it's going to take you a lot of Instagram reels to build up trust and a relationship with those people watching. It will take you potentially hundreds of videos for people to get to a point where they feel like, oh, I know this guy. I feel like I'm sat down chatting to him, or I feel like I'm in his world. YouTube long form is almost a shortcut. Because, look at this video now. It's probably 30, 40 minutes long so far. I don't know how long I'm going to go on for, actually. We'll see. I'm hoping that you've watched this far. If you've watched this far, you should feel somewhat connected to me and trust me in what I'm saying, or it'd be interested enough to watch this far. And I think that what that has done, you've watched 40 minutes of content in one video on YouTube versus a 10-second Instagram reel. So how many Instagram reels are you going to have to watch to reach that same viewer amount? That's what I would think about. Now, have a presence on both platforms, but don't just disregard YouTube long form because you think it's like going to take too long to grow. YouTube is a very much longer term strategy than Instagram, TikTok, and all these and YouTube Shorts. They're totally different mindsets and strategies to grow these channels. So don't try and employ the same thing you would on there as you would on here. What I'm trying to teach you on here on this video is everything I've experienced so far, in that your first videos aren't going to get views, but that's okay because you're building a catalog of videos which will get viewed later once your videos start to grow, thanks to the power of compounding. But it might take 6, 12 months, even longer to get there, which is kind of a filter as well. Actually, it almost acts like a filter. So YouTube filters out all the people that aren't patient enough and won't stay the course. But the people that do stay the course, guess what they get? Everything they've ever wanted when they started on YouTube. Views, subscribers, growth, money, if that's your main driver, which I don't think it should be. AdSense on YouTube is poor. It's shit. I make a fair bit of money off AdSense on different channels that I have. Think about this, right? Think about this. Let's just talk about brand deals a second and money that you can make on YouTube. To even start earning money on YouTube through AdSense, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel, which is quite a milestone to reach anyway. Now, some people do that in a few videos, some people it takes 20, 30, 40 plus videos to get there. Then you can start earning pennies on your video, literally pennies or dollars. Now, Wolfpack Adventures, it does okay on the channel. For every 1,000 views that I generate on that channel, it makes between $1 and about $10, depending on the video, which I have no control over. So some videos could earn a couple of dollars per 1,000 views, others could earn $10, $15, $20 in mountain biking niches. Now, if you're in a niche like finance or business, they're gonna pay a lot more money for the 1,000 views versus an entertainment channel like MrBeast. I can almost guarantee MrBeast, the money he earns per 1,000 views is a couple of dollars. Same as my channel as well, my mountain bike channel, because of the niche it's in. It's entertainment, it's a younger audience. However, if you're starting out and your goal is to make money on YouTube, that's your main driver. You want to be a YouTuber that gets paid, a full-time YouTuber. You can earn money without reaching 1,000 subscribers. You don't need to join AdSense at all. And you can earn way more money before you even reach that threshold through brand deals, sponsorships, affiliates. If you have your own product, you can promote that on your channel. And that's what I've done. If you have a product that's like £100, £500, £1,000, and you have a video that's only doing a couple of hundred views, but if those 100 views are the right people and you get a couple of people to buy that £500 product, that's exponentially more money than you'll earn from AdSense, versus as well the time you'll put in to reach that amount. So again, my advice for people starting out on YouTube in the beginning, don't focus on the money when you're starting out, especially from AdSense. Don't have the goal that you want to reach 1,000 subscribers. Just put out content. When you're ready to reach 1,000 subscribers, you will get that. You will reach that. YouTube will almost open the gates and let you have all that you want. Like I said in the beginning, you'll see views and subscribers is very slow growth, and that's okay because you're building this foundation that is still under the surface, like I was saying before. And it's fine to have nobody watching. But YouTube, in my opinion, is one of the biggest platforms you should leverage. It's not about being an overnight success. You want to start a channel with a long-term play in mind. If you do that, you will win and you will experience massive growth on the platform. And I mean, I couldn't even tell you how much YouTube has changed my own life, as well as the people around me. YouTube has allowed me to live out my dream and do what I want for a living, which is video creation, mountain biking, travel, everything else in between. The platform has helped me do that. But I feel I'm trying to pass down what I've learned so far in this video as like a bit of a roadmap for anyone getting started or at the beginning of their journey. Because I see people getting discouraged, and I would like to see people progress. I love seeing progression. But I hope that was useful. I will leave links in the description below where you can get all cool goodies and more insights from me about helping you grow on YouTube. And YouTube will recommend videos up here which you should go and check out next. And I'll see you in the next one.